Hello, Derek Shapiro, along with River, executive producer and writer of Don't Mess with a Clown, out now on movieinternetchannel.yolosid.com. I'm the director, Derek Shapiro, too. But me and River star in it.
Okay.
We're going to get them.
We're going to get them, yeah.
There they are. Also, Vinny the Booch Bucci in Serenity Rose.
All right. About to hit the road. Got to get ready to do this show. Gonna make some serious money, tell some serious jokes. Only problem is I got to deal with these stories about these clowns. And, all these stories about, there's these clowns, these scary clowns running around.
Hey, sis. So I'm over here with your friends. Oh, hi, cuz. So tell me, I heard you all about, about clowns. Me and my son are going to take care of the clowns this weekend. How should we do it?
Do it with power.
Do it with power.
I will do it with power. Thank you. Also, Dylan Schneider and Yvens A Darilus.
Oh, finally, you're here. Took some time.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Joe.
Did you hear? Look at the news. Somebody got killed by a clown.
Stop clowning around.
Also, starring Ken Stearns from the Jaw Podcast.
Good morning, everybody. This is Ken Stearns, and I'm reporting from the jar.live. We've got a serious situation right now in the community. There's clowns loose.
Guest star Rick Worthy. I have a question. I just want to know, I'm here in Providence. How do you take care of clowns?
You take care of clowns by not staring at them.
And check out my song, Don't Mess with a Clown. Don't mess with the clown. Don't Mess with the Clown, out now on movieinternetchannel.yolasite.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 4 of the Yvens A Darilus Podcast. We're going to do something a little different tonight. Well, whenever you see this, we're going to do this a little different today. We have a special guest on the podcast for the first time ever. He's done countless movies. You may have seen it on YouTube. You may have not. So we're going to interview him tonight. He goes by the name of Derek S. Shapiro. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring him on to the stage.
Thank you. Yes. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. What are you doing? Running your fingers to what you have left?
Well, yeah, I was relaxing, and in my chair, I kind of, this is where I work. I sleep a lot. I mean, I have a bed too, but I mean, I guess I'm shut eye a little bit. So I was like, I had a long day today, so I kind of started off early, and you know me, I do various things, So like I'm putting together my own podcast as we were having some technical difficulty, and we're talking off the air. You had some technical difficulty before this. Now you know how it is to run your own podcast. How does it feel, Yvens? Hello? You're freezing. Oh, boy. It's freezing.
Okay. All right, so we had some technical difficulties, and I was talking through it, so I'm just going to leave it in. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Now you know what I go through.
Yep. So,
well, let me talk as this recording. So this, congratulations to Yvens on his new podcast. And this happens. It's not his fault. This is just what it is. What it is. But congratulations to the Yvens A Darilus Podcast. I was talking through it, so if it pauses, I'll talk right through it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Because
we won't have
now it's good.
Yeah, so we won't have any dead air, you know.
Okay. So I don't know what happened, but anyways, so Derek Shapiro. So
Yes.
how did you get your start in media? What influenced you?
Oh my God! Oh, way back in the day. I always loved radio. You know, like my to-go radio guy was Salty Brian, this big radio guy in Rhode Island. He was on the AM radio,
Right.
and I got to be on the AM radio 4th of July one time, and her name is Marian Sorrentino. And I saw her in the supermarket a few weeks ago with River, and I said, "You're Marianne." And I back in the day, like when I was 7 years old, I got my first radio experience, and it was 4th of July at the Bristol 4th of July parade. Every year they had the Bristol 4th of July parade in Rhode Island, and I was on her show. And then every 4th of July, I would call her show up, you know,
Right.
and she would let me on the show, and that's I always listened to Casey Kasem before Ryan Seacrest. There was
Right.
Casey Kasem, and I always, and it's funny if you hear stories about Ryan Seacrest, he always pretended to do radio in his room. I used to always like come home after school and pretend my bed was a radio station, pretend there was a microphone, and I would pretend like I was an FM DJ or a talk radio show host. I wanted to be like the local guys here in Rhode Island, you know, or even Casey Kasem, and say Derek Shapiro's top 40, you know.
Yeah. And so what brought you upon that embarked you into getting into the media, aside from what you just told us right now?
Well, you know, I was managing a singer's career here in Rhode Island,
right?
And I wanted my dream to come true to be in radio, but I said, do I have to really wait for the dream to come true for their weight, like the corporate, you know, to be on a regular radio station, or can I start a podcast like this? I started my podcast in 2005, 2006. Believe it or not, I started my podcast on CDs. I would pass out free CDs to the community. And then I got the website. Right? Like a little before River was born, you know?
Yeah.
In 2005, 2006. And the DerekShapiroShow.com is the oldest website I have, you know? The oldest, my podcast is on there from when I started, you know? My ex-wife was my first co-host.
Oh, that's interesting. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. On the original episodes, you can hear my River as a baby crying and whimpering, you know? You can hear my daughter with her little mousy little voice when she was a little kid, you know? on my original podcasts, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And give a shout out to my ex-brother-in-law, who's a producer in California. He's one of the founders of the Derek Shapiro Show episode monthly show that you feature on every month, you know?
Yes.
So
it's like I don't have a good screen yet, not good setup yet, so everything's kind of like wonky right now, but
understandable. It happens.
Change this whole thing. That's why I do that sometimes in the. Okay, better. Okay. So.
Oh, freezing again. He's freezing. We got to thaw Yvens out because he's freezing. Freeze frame. You know that song, the old song.
Connection.
Freeze frame.
Okay, now the connection's back.
Oh, then I was talking during the thing. I was saying freeze frame.
Yeah,
we got to throw you out.
What? So okay. So what? For those of you who don't know, the people who don't know Derek Shapiro, who is Derek Shapiro?
That's a good question. I'm a father.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a son. I'm an uncle. I'm a cousin. I'm a nephew. I'm a friend.
Yep.
And I mean, foremost, and we're friends off the air.
Yes.
We bust balls off the air too.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, but you gotta have a foundation of friendship.
Yes.
And then I'm the personality like you see on the YouTube and on the podcast. You can hear my voice on the podcast. You can see it like on yours. Right. I'm on the cable show and I do movies. Right. Being an actor, and I think. Well, we're all acting. I mean, you can have like the most terrible day, but then when it starts the podcast, you got to put on the happy face,
Exactly.
No matter what, if you have like technical freaking difficulties,
right?
But in so much ways, that's why I transitioned myself from being a podcaster to an actor, because if you're on radio, no matter what, you're even if you're playing yourself, you're an actor for that moment.
Exactly.
Because I went through divorces, breakups. Going through stuff with my kids
over
the years, and no matter what, when it's time to start a podcast, the listeners don't give a shit.
Yeah,
you gotta start the podcast, and you can have the most crappiest day, but when it's 8:00 to start a podcast or whatever, you gotta put on a happy face.
Exactly.
Somewhat a happy face. I mean, you can still be yourself, but no matter what. You can't show them. Like, I've been mad on my podcast before too.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but you gotta show professionalism, if you will. To keep the audience engaged. You gotta. The show must go on. You ever see that saying? The show must go on.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless this comes to a point where I say, okay, Evans, you have a podcast now. Dylan has a podcast. I'm out of here. Derek out. Then I'll hang up my hot hat and say, okay, I did it. Other people have a podcast. I've done my stuff. Now it's other people to take their turn. Who knows? That will come eventually. Who knows? But the thing is, I mean, will I always do this podcast? My podcasting? Who knows? Will I always do movies? Who knows? I mean, though I can always, I don't know. But,
perfect. Go ahead.
No, and then of course my movie that you're in, acting is like the second wind. The second wind.
So I was going to say that's a perfect segue into talking about a little bit about this new Derek Shapiro production film.
Yes.
So
yeah, no, go ahead.
So tell us what the movie is about. We're going to put a clip in for the movie at some point in this podcast.
Yes. Thank you. Well, this movie, Don't Mess with the Clown, is a movie that, like, every Halloween time, River has come to me in the recent years and says, I want to do this movie. So this was his concept and said, let's do a clown movie, Dad. The year before, last year, we did I can't even think of it. What did we do last year? You were in the movie too. I can't think of it. We did a vampire movie.
Yeah.
And of course, so I said, okay, let's do it. So we both put our heads together. And this is the only movie that has no mistakes in it. I can't find any mistake in this movie.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
There's any movie I've had a mistake. Vinny Bucci hasn't. Of course, our co-host, Vinny Bucci, he always rates the movies because he's been in every movie of mine,
Right.
And he hasn't really told me if he watched it or not, really, because he's always busy too. But usually he watches it, and he calls me up sometimes, like, Derek, what was this? Yeah. And but this movie, me and River, we play clowns and we play good people and we play the bad clowns,
Right.
And us clowns, we go on a killing spree.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, though.
Your part's good too. I mean, you're at the bar with Jessica, you know.
Yeah.
And Dylan's character is very good. Did you see the movie?
Oh, I didn't get to see it all yet. I saw the preview, so I was like trying to like just go into the interview, and then I was gonna check it out. So I just wanted to like have like a raw interview and let you describe the movie a little bit, and then I'll get into it.
Well, 2 people get killed in the movie.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. I can't tell you which 2 people.
Yeah, because that will spoil the movie for the rest of the viewers.
Yes.
And where can they find this movie?
It's on YouTube. I mean, Don't Mess with the Clown.
Yes.
But I have a movie internet channel. So movieinternetchannel.yolasite.com. Movieinternetchannel.yolasite.com. And that's where you can find all my movies, you know, like all my past movies, all the future movies. Like I might be planning a Thanksgiving movie, which you're in that too. Mm-hmm. And I might come on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
Which is the guy that wears plaid.
Oh, okay.
So because I come out with 4 or 5 movies a year,
right?
You know? And no, not 5, 4, 3 to 4 movies a year, 3 to 4.
Yeah.
5. I never do 5 movies. Most I would do is 4, yeah. You know. So, but it's fun because, you know, it's like you get to be another character. And I think all the emotions I go through with the negative BS or the positive BS, I put that energy into my character at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I get you. Because so with creating the movies and doing the podcast and stuff like that, when do you find time for free time?
You know, it's funny. Plus, yeah, I'm a karaoke DJ and I'm a DJ too. Like you got to try to take some time out, and it's like I do a lot of projects, but like in between tonight, like waiting for the podcast, I was getting a little shut eye, you know.
Yeah.
And I have time, like especially like I try to take a day, like a Saturday or Sunday, to have a day off. You know, like if I'm DJing on a Sunday, I'll have Saturday as my day off. If I'm DJing on a Sunday, I have Saturday as my day off. I mean, sometimes I do work. Like a lot of businesses, they work 7 days a week. I work 7 days a week, trying to just plug away. Like I couldn't get everything done because I'm tired. If I have time at nighttime, like a lot of things are pre-recorded. Right. So like on Thursdays when I debut our episode monthly show, we tape it a week or 2 weeks in advance. That night, like Thursdays night now, I'm doing karaoke. When that shows when that's going on, or other times I could be out on a date. You know, I've been on a date before when the episode monthly show's going on.
That's interesting.
In the morning, sometimes I do errands in the morning to take people to, like right now I'm getting paid to take my friend to work, right?
Right.
But as you know, in the springtime, I was helping my friend go to school. How can I help her go to school while I do D Shop in the morning? Because D Shop in the morning comes on Monday through Friday, 6 to 9. It's not live. And
you know, exactly.
Most of the radio programs you hear are not live either.
Right.
If you think about it, it's more economical for them to go in the studio one day, tape maybe 1 to 5 shows, the morning shows are more live, okay?
Right.
But the afternoon shows, they usually tape it. Some morning shows can get away with it. Like I've heard some morning shows, they could go in from like 9 to whatever, okay?
Right.
No, I mean not 9, 6 a.m. to like, if a show goes on from 6 to 9 or 6 to 10, they can get away of doing 6 to probably 2 hours and have the rest of the show. You know, they have technology today in the extraterrestrial radio. lot of times it's just cost effective to get everything done in like one day.
Exactly.
Because it saves them money. Then they just put it up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
People are not live anymore. We're not live right now.
Nah.
You know, I mean, which is a beautiful thing because we can't. I mean, I was live on my early days. No, I was taped, but then when I went to Georgia, I had a period of time when I went live. Even when I came back here, like it was live stream. Live stream. I mean, you know, in present time, you can save money by taping it because the thing is, when I used to go live, we used to run over and I would pay like an hourly thing for the studio time and everything. This is much better than doing studio time.
Exactly.
Because I used to rent a studio. OMG. I used to rent a studio.
That's very cost effective though. Like,
you know, I mean, I never paid any of the talent, and I never did that. I was always volunteer, you know. But I would always pay a producer back in the day, you know. Whether it was my ex-brother-in-law,
yes,
John Richmond from Rich Productions, you know, Dave Pezza from Rhode Island,
right.
But I would always compensate like by like, you know, if you needed anything, like I would treat them for lunches sometimes. You know, I got my friends, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But like, you know, and plus I would do extra promotion. Like for your podcast, you know, I will take your podcast under my wing too. I never forget where I came from. I never forget who helped me out.
Right.
So you're gonna shine too, bigger, if not bigger than me.
I don't know. I just trying to take it day by day and then grow organically.
Well, look, I mean, here's the thing, Evans, right?
Right.
If you blew up and Dylan blew up and Vinny blew up and I mean, look, or if you all blow up together, that'd be the wonderful thing, you know?
Exactly.
But the thing is, just knowing that you started on the Derek Shapiro show, or this person started. I mean, I started someplace too. Vinny Bucci always likes to say he started on the regular guy's show, but I always tell Vinny, you put them in such a pedestal.
Yeah.
Their show is not together anymore. But guess whose is? It's the Boochcast.
Exactly.
Put yourself as a pedestal. Now it's time to put Yvens A Darilus on your own pedestal now.
Right. It's just it's just like how we, not to cut you off or anything, but like it's just like how sometimes we put people on a pedestal, like we put them higher and we forget about ourselves.
Right.
And so therefore we always trying to make it seem like, okay, yeah, like you said, like you should be proud of of yourself, and the pedestal, you should put yourself on a pedestal too. You can't always just like accept, like, okay, you could be humble and be grateful. Yes, this person gave me my start. This person gave me the opportunity, so I could be able to branch off and do something in the future. And I thank you for that, Derek, because like I would go on your podcast trying to just to hang out and just like see like what you were outside of like of the job that we were at one point.
Yes. I mean,
and now,
yeah.
And now it's just interesting how like how life is crazy. It's like even now, like I like until this day, I even one time I forgot to put my phone on mute, and then I was recording, and then the phone was ringing. So I'm like, I'm like, man, I had to stop it and then re-record.
It happens to the best of us. I mean, you're doing so many things now. I mean, back in the day when I started, I mean, we had cell phones,
right?
But like back in the day, I mean, when I was on the FM radio, we didn't have cell phones on FM radio. When I was on the internet for the FM radio here in Rhode Island, right?
Yeah,
it was the AM and FM radio. I was on. I told the Marion Sortino show.
Right.
But like Vinny Bucci always references the regular guy show. I started being an intern for Mike Butts in the morning.
Right.
Now you think what I say is crazy, okay? Did you know what kind of bits I did as an intern for Mike Butts in the morning show.
Nah.
One time he told me, so back in the day, there was another AM station. I mean, not AM station, another AM host. Okay, at the same AM station, I was interning for Mike Butts, and I was looking for a girl, a date. So I went on the AM station, and it was called the Carolyn Fox Show. Okay, Carolyn Fox on FM radio here in Rhode Island, and then she actually lives in Boston area, but she's not on the radio anymore. I think she's in real estate. So I went on her show. It was called the Fox Hunt Show, the Fox Hunt segment. So you look for a lady. So because my favorite band back in the day was Hootie the Blowfish. So I was looking for a date for Hootie the Blowfish concert.
Nice.
So Carolyn Fox had a whip. She was wearing leather pants, okay? She whipped me
You
on
would
the
remember
air.
that.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She whipped me on the air. Okay. She whipped me literally on the air with a whip.
Dang. That must have hurt.
But the leather pants took the pain away, okay?
Oh, God.
So literally a week after, I was at a nightclub, okay? And this lady says to me, Derek, I said, do I know you? It says, it's Carolyn Fox from the I didn't recognize her at the club like a week after, but she was wearing jeans, you know. She wasn't wearing her leather pants, you know.
Right.
So then because I was on the AM station, they really did, even though there were sister stations,
right?
And they still are in Rhode Island. I went back to my morning show, what I was interning for, right? And because they found out I was on the AM station, they did a whole segment because they were advertising each other's stations because I was on the AM station, and they said,
right,
well, you are on the Carolyn Fox show. So, and I said on the Carolyn Fox show, you know, now you think I'm crazy now. I told them that I had a feet fetish for women.
Oh my God.
Okay, this actually happened. This is actually on the air. Right? So, guess what Mike Butts made me do?
Sniff her foot.
Oh. He says, if you can go out to either go out in public, I would drive the van, the radio station van.
Right.
Okay. And they always said, you got to drive carefully because if this gets into an accident, this will wipe out the whole signal for the station.
Oh, shoot.
So I never got in any accident.
Yeah.
Fortunately. So I went out, and do you remember Linda Tripp?
Not really.
Linda Tripp had an affair with Bill Clinton back in the day. So
I know about Monica Lewinsky.
And this is, if you look up Linda Tripp, it was one of the people other than Monica Lewinsky was Linda Tripp. Or I think she exposed. I think she exposed Bill Clinton. Actually, I don't know the backstory, but I think she exposed Bill Clinton. So
exposed. Anyway, tell me about it.
So they made me wear a dress. This actually happened. Okay, I went in public to wear a dress, right?
Oh my God!
So they said if you find a woman who agrees, you got to give them because they said Linda Tripp's a hog. So you a hog sausage, pig sausage. I had a gift certificate to give somebody, right?
Right.
4 pounds of sausage. And then if I like them, or if they allow me to lick their feet or suck their feet,
yeah, I
will give them the sausage.
Oh my God. This sounds a little risky,
man. And you think what we do on my show is cringe.
Yeah, I used to think that.
This actually happened.
Oh my God!
I don't even know if I told Dylan this story, but but you know what? I mean, we can replay this segment for my show. I mean, I want to let people know, or this story for my show too. But because I got to tell Dylan this, you know, hopefully Dylan's watching this, you know.
Yeah.
But this really did happen to Derek Chappelle when I was interning for the FM station. So I talk like this. I said, "Hello, I'm Linda Tripp." So the lady who got me started in radio, Tanya Cruz, she actually got me started. She said, "Derek, you'd be a good intern." So it was because of Tanya Cruz, okay, who said, "Derek, get your foot in the door." So she used to always do the night shift before the Mike Butt show. So one time I got there early, and Tanya Cruz said, "Linda Tripp's in the studio." I said, "Oh yes, I'm Linda Tripp," and I said, "Please don't touch my ass," whatever.
Oh my God!
I said that on the radio, So
I hope you got paid for wearing that dress.
Oh no, intern does not get paid.
Damn, they did you dirty.
Vinny Bucci got played dirty too, because he was an intern and he knows how it is to be an intern. Okay.
Yeah.
And so then one segment we did a banana eating contest at Stop and Shop.
Right.
And that was something. And then one time Mike Butts told me to lick the pole because it was a cold morning. I faked it.
Yeah.
So I did, he gave me hot water for the van. I went back, and the producer, which I don't want to mention names, is his wife now. I don't know if they're still married.
Right.
But he got divorced from his ex-wife. Both of them came to my wedding back in the day.
Yeah.
And the producer, not the producer came to my wedding, but him and his ex-wife came to my wedding.
Right.
And I faked it. And the producer said, "Derek, did you fake that segment?" I says, "Who's going to write mine really put their tongue to the pole? I faked it. I'm a good actor." She got mad at me. So anyway, she always get mad at me. Mike never really got mad at me.
Yeah.
Then one of the craziest segments, he says, "You got to go find a restaurant, pretend you're out of toilet paper. You call the Mike Butts show, and then the Mike Butts will patch me into the restaurant." So I literally was in BK Restaurant, which is still there today, in Warwick, Rhode Island, right? If anybody knows Warwick, Rhode Island, it's on Post Road, okay?
Yeah.
And I had to go in one of the stalls, okay? And I pretend I have my cell phone with me, which I did have a cell phone. They gave me their phone, and they patched me to the radio station. I would say, "I'm all out of toilet paper." I act like mad, what do I do? There's no toilet paper. So they put the toilet paper there. And it was all fake for radio.
Oh God. You know what? I made connections while you were talking.
Yeah.
Mike Butts, toilet paper, and sausage.
Oh, sausage. Well, his real name is Mike Butts, Butts. If you Google him, you could find YouTube on him. He did a lot for pets. He was really into like pet things. And it was funny because when he separated from the station, and that's how I ended my internship. But I would always call the station every once in a while for the news show, And when he went to the AM station, I was a guest on his show via phone, but he always said, Beth. Oh, well, I said the name. The producer you didn't get along with the producer. I said, "Well, me and her clashed." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're gonna clash with different people,
right?
But it was funny because Mike and I never clashed, and but I actually interviewed Mike Butts on my show.
Yeah.
For my 10th episode, I interviewed him.
Right.
But it's cool interviewing different people, especially for people who you had on your show,
right?
And interviewing him, you know what I'm saying? And you would never think, "Oh wow, interviewing Mike," but then I interviewed someone higher than him, like Ryan Seacrest, was my biggest, radio personality I ever interviewed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was nervous interviewing him. Nervous.
I gotta ask you. So, were you sniffing chairs at the time?
No. No.
Speaking of fetishes from earlier.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I mean, some dates I went on, back as a teenager, if I had a beautiful lady in my car, you better believe I'll be sniffing that seat.
He's sniffing some seats. Oh my! Hey, those are for the girls that Derek used to date back in the day. He was sniffing seats,
Sniffing seat. Hey, it's better than sniffing heroin.
No, yeah, it is. It's better than sniffing heroin.
Well,
But
yeah.
we do this as jokes, and then Derek and I, we have an inside joke with Dylan. He likes some raccoon booty.
Oh yeah, raccoon. Well, okay. Here's what happened. So we were doing that show over in Salem, on
Right.
the FM radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
The people need to know.
yes, and I guess I was off that day, and I sent you some footage because literally one day my daughter was saying, "Dad, you better not go downstairs that way. There's a raccoon in the foyer." So I went down. I says, "OMG!" So I told my neighbor, my second floor neighbor, he knew how to get rid of it without calling the landlord. And the raccoon was just staring.
Right.
And how would I get on the porch? I mean, this is Salem. So,
Right.
I mean, look, I live in more like the country part where I live now in Cranston versus Salem. Well, I guess there was woods down by Salem State anyway.
Right.
So raccoon got in there. So I said, I guess on the audio footage, I says maybe it's a female raccoon because all the females love me.
And we try to remind him. We trying to ground him, and we be like, "Nah, maybe it might be the male raccoons."
Oh hell no. But now Dylan hangs out in the coyote section, so it's like his coyotes and my raccoons. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
Hey, for y'all who are listening right now, this is only for entertainment purposes. Nobody has actual fetishes for animals. Maybe Derek, but that's about it.
No, I have fetishes for women about like I love when women wear sweats or leggings.
Yeah.
Come on,
likes leggings.
Don't you too, Evans?
Yes.
I mean, like, do you think a lady looks better in jeans, leggings, or sweats?
It depends on what jeans that they got, because some jeans they wear form-fitting jeans so that they could show what they were working with or what their mother made them, what their mama gave them.
Like today, I was in a restaurant, bakery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And literally, like, all the women were wearing tight leggings or
right.
OMG. Oh, okay. You want to hear this funny thing today? What happened to me?
Sure.
So I like black women, right?
Right.
And you like white women.
I like all women, in general. Derek.
Okay. I mean, okay. I like some white women, but white women really don't do that for me, right?
Yeah. I get you though.
But some of them do. Don't get me wrong, but mostly black and some Spanish. So right now I'm dating this Jamaican woman, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm dating. I mean, we're not going out. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
But
you haven't put a label on it or anything at all. Yeah.
So I found out a Family Dollar, and then today I was promoting and getting a sponsor from this guy who owns a phone place,
mm-hmm.
and his actual mother was in there.
What?
The Liberian.
Right.
I was literally flooded with the mother after he gave me the money.
Wow.
I said, "You got to come to my karaoke tomorrow." I gave her my number, but she's flying out on Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
What time is? She's supposed to be flying out. I said to the son, I says, "You better try to keep your mom here instead of."
Wow. See, y'all better hide your mothers because Derek's taking mothers out here.
Actually, it's funny because Serenity, our friend Serenity, right?
Yeah.
Who's been on the movie? She's in our movie,
right?
She actually suggested I should date her mother.
What? Don't mess with clowns.
Because I told Serenity I might want to move to see my ex-girlfriend in Alabama.
Sweet home Alabama.
Or Georgia, my mind.
You can tell that we're both not singers.
No, but for our other movie, New England Part 2, we know some Ebony and Ivory
go together in perfect harmony.
Yes. So, but yeah, and one big actor is in Don't Mess with the Clown.
And y'all gonna have to wait for that possibly, or unless Derek wants to tell you.
Okay, Rick Worthy.
Ooh-wee.
If you look at Rick Worthy, he's a black actor.
Mm-hmm.
I found him last year at Comic-Con, which comes in Rhode Island, and I'm not allowed back in Comic-Con. Okay, long story. Okay.
Oh, we definitely got to talk about this.
Okay.
At some point.
But I'm like, I always go to the hotel area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I interviewed Rick Worthy that day. I went back because I said I want to find an actor to be in my movie.
Right.
Found him again, get it in the limo, or in the car, some kind of car.
Right.
And he was gracious enough just to do a quick scene for my movie. Give a shout out to Rick Worthy. He's been in CSI. He was in CSI. I think he's been in Supernatural or whatever.
Right.
If you look at Rick Worthy's credit, he was in Star Trek too. And he's in our movie. And he acted with, I think in NCIS, he acted with this other actress who acted with Friends. So the connections are there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like Vinny acted with somebody who was in the Martin Show. And then the guy from the Martin Show acts with Martin, and Martin acts with Will Smith. So there's a connection.
Right. And that Will Smith stuff is getting more and more sad.
You know, I have to say, Will Smith is human.
Yes, exactly.
What he did, people should not cancel him. I think the people that want to cancel people are afraid to look at their own selves.
Exactly.
Because there's probably more things in your closet.
Yep. There's a lot of skeletons in people's closets that they don't know about. You know what I'm saying? You're speaking facts here.
I mean, you know, even Chris Rock, you know, Chris Rock should embrace Will Smith's faults instead of making fun of him the whole night. I mean, of course, you're going to make fun of him. You got paid for it. But now it's time to unite. I think there's too many division in the world, okay? And like the war that's going on right now, you know, I mean, there's much more to the war. I mean, I'm not going to go into that really, but there's so much stuff that goes on, but people don't talk about really uniting anymore.
Exactly.
You know? I think you got to embrace that. You know, I mean, look, I have some enemies on the Boochcast show, but Vinny's neutral. But I try to come together with them. You know, if they don't want to come, I'm trying to be the peacemaker.
For real.
If they don't want to be the peacemaker, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But like, you got to finally meet me and Vinny's mutual friend Jerry Truman recently. Jerry Truman, oh my God, he's just a wonderful actor. Give a shout out to him. He hasn't been in one of my movies recently, but Jerry Truman, when he does the Baconator song, give a shout out to Jerry Truman because he's awesome. You know what I'm saying? You
guys can catch that. Sorry to cut you off, Derek. You can catch that on the Derek Shapiro Show.
Yes.
I believe it's on the Episode Monthly Show. That's also streams on YouTube. And remember,
and iHeartRadio.
And iHeartRadio. Remember, don't mess with the clowns.
Yes, thank you. So you're on Spotify too, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm just trying to get on the other streaming platforms. So I just don't. Apparently, we're supposed to have like something called RSS.com. RSS.
Yes, I actually got Vinny on iHeartRadio from the RSS. actually, I could do that for you.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that for you. Anybody can submit it
Right.
for you. But it's very easy to submit it.
Right.
Oh yeah, so I told Dylan this the other day too. I got to tell you this. Guess who's the new owner of Spotify?
Derek, you do not own it, Derek. You hold the stake in the corporation. Okay. So technically, on a technicality, if you own a share, so you part owner of it, but you don't own the whole thing, brother.
No. I never said I own the whole thing. I'm just saying I'm one of the owners.
Yeah.
I'm one of the owners of the WWE, Nike, Disney.
Hopefully, your stocks are going up because, like, you've chosen some great companies that have like really good backings.
I'll put it this way: I just saw my stocks before we did this interview today,
Right.
and I invested all throughout from last Black Friday. Okay, I was sitting and having lunch with my mom, my daughter, and my son.
Right.
And I invested $100. Then throughout the year, $25 more. So I invested a total of not $125, $120.
Yeah.
Out of $120 I invested, guess where my stock stands now?
Probably at least a good 1,000 something.
$104.
Damn.
Yep. I've lost $16 in the stock market.
That's why I'm afraid to put my money in something that is not secure. But sometimes you got to take chances.
Yes. So I'm surprised. I mean, I haven't reached a profit yet. Okay. I almost did. It came back up, but this stocks are seriously hurting.
Yeah, it's like you gotta find out like what companies to invest in. Sometimes you may have to invest in new companies. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about stocks, but I know like it fluctuates every day. Like, and you always got to look at the Dow Jones and all that stuff. You got to be like really invested into it, just like you are with your podcast and in the movies. You know, don't mess with the clowns. Remember that on YouTube. Don't mess with the clowns.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, you know, you got to be invested with everything. You know, there's some things like it's like you get tired of here, and sometimes you don't be afraid to push some things on the back burner. Okay,
Facts.
If you got to take a day off, take a day off. Mention it to your viewers and take a day off. But you know, it's funny. Some of these stream things, you put the RSS code, like we were saying.
Right.
And sometimes I go to sleep. I wake up at 3:00 in the morning, put the show together. iHeartRadio always updates right away. Spotify updates right away.
Right.
TuneIn always updates right away. But people, if you're on Odyssey, I'm on the Odyssey app. I'm on the Google. Google does not update right away.
Right.
And Apple Podcasts sometimes does not update right away. Amazon Music does. iHeart does. And Spotify does.
You hear that? He on all them streaming platforms.
I'm on that. I don't own all those, but I'm on it. You know.
No, I know. That's what we're saying. We're saying you're on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I own Amazon.
Oh Lord.
And
this man works for Amazon as well, I believe. If I'm
not
anymore.
No.
Okay. So let's just because that's his personal stuff. So we don't have to.
No, I mean you can. I mean no, I did. Amazon actually kind of screwed us over a little bit because I worked for Amazon, then switched to Whole Foods, and I just separated from Whole Foods recently.
Right.
And it's just one of those things that happened. I mean, like we used to work for the blue store, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. But you know, I have no regrets because I never met you. I never met Carol.
Right.
I recently saw Garner this past week, and I went to.
Oh he was telling me that.
Oh, you're friends with him?
Yeah. No, I seen him, and then he's like, hey, check out D Shap in the morning, 6 to 10 a.m.
Yes. Wow. When did you see him last?
Like maybe a week ago, because I was picking up something at the store. I just went in there because I was like I needed something, but I couldn't remember what I needed, so I was just walking through Walmart.
So yeah, I saw him a few. Literally, I had a gig up in Hamilton, Massachusetts. The day I called you,
Yeah.
I went over there. I saw him. Because as soon as I see him, he knows it's me.
Yeah. Everybody knows it's you.
He knows it's me. That's what I used to do. I used to have the, like during the pandemic, I had the Walmart vlog. Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to do something different. Like during the pandemic, there was these long lines, right?
Right.
And I will always do the 5 o'clock dance thing for the customers.
Right.
Because it was a trying time for the world,
Mm-hmm.
So I would always lighten them up, and they would always see me dance at 5 o'clock, and my coworkers would always record me. I would put on YouTube,
Right.
and I would play music out of my car, super loud, and put it on the Bluetooth, and I would do the 5 o'clock dance thing, like the Jackson 5, or to Mariah Carey, or to Madonna, whatever, and I would just dance in front of the customers. But it was cool because I wasn't performing live. That was my own performance.
Exactly.
And I think it was cool because you hear people in other countries, they all have sing-alongs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe a parking lot, employees dancing for their customers.
Right. So see. So he be thinking about the people. That's the thing that's cool about Derek. He be thinking about the people, and even though he be clowning around, he be telling some dad jokes. Yeah. See, clowning around. Check that out on YouTube and DSSTVstation.eulasite.com.
Oh no, just DSSTVnation.com.
Oh, okay, .com. My bad.
Yep. DerekShapiroShow.com and movieinternetchannel.yolasite.com for the movie.
Yeah, you heard.
And it's wonderful. And I play Dylan's podcast every Friday on 90s, 2000s, 2010s, say radio TV.yolasite.com. And
Small flex.
I gotta play your podcast. I gotta stop playing your podcast on my network too. Like, okay, what network should I play your podcast on?
I have no idea. Whatever you choose to, because I'm still just trying to work things out and
so
get
you're
things
on
situated.
YouTube too, right?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Spotify. I'm trying to get on Apple Music, Amazon. I'm trying to get on Odyssey, audio, visual, whatever it's called.
Hey, one thing about being on Apple Podcasts, I learned, you can still eat a banana while you're on Apple Podcast.
This guy, I tell him, don't tell no jokes. Don't tell no jokes. And he's trying to kill us. He's trying to kill us.
I mean, look, okay, we're on iHeartRadio. We're not on EarHeartRadio.
Yeah, true. So, Derek, do you have anything to say to the people before we close out the podcast?
Okay, so if you're a close friend of mine, okay, if you get into radio or anybody actually out there who's not even a friend of mine, like Evan said, don't do too many jokes, but you gotta own your own craft, okay?
Exactly.
Own this segment that you're on, okay?
Right.
Follow your heart, what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think it might be a little cringy, don't be afraid to step over the boundary.
Yep.
In a respectable way, okay?
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes. You're not going to have a perfect podcast every time.
Right.
Sometimes the mistakes are unavoidable, which you cannot prevent.
Exactly.
Like a lot of people say, wait, you're not prepared, Derek. You're not doing that. Sometimes it's not you. It's this internet thing.
Right.
It could be the computer. A lot of times, sometimes I have a lot of programs open right now.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I'm not freezing right now, but a lot of times I'm preparing stuff. I got to restart the computer.
Yep. That's what I had to do.
I have a lot of browsers open. I'm like, right now I have a few websites open. I have Facebook open. I have 3 YouTubes open right now.
Right.
So I'm constantly doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, a lot of people say, you're always working? I said, no. Why do you think I have a few browsers open? I like to take breaks and watch YouTube.
Exactly. Exactly.
The other day,
Mhm.
I was watching like 3-4 movies in a row.
Yeah, because sometimes you need a little R&R, rest and relaxation. Because especially if you're doing this type of stuff, you're editing, you need to stand back from the screen, you need to take a break and realize, we got to have some fun too.
Yeah, I mean, especially I do want R&R a lot, because who doesn't want a Rachel and a Rochelle?
Oh God. Okay, Derek, we usually do this thing called Poetry Corner. So I've done it before. So sometimes, like last episode, I threw in a word that kind of went with the theme of what we were talking about. Since we're talking about your movie, Don't Mix with the Clowns, or we lightly touched on it. So we just do a poem or a spoken word piece, and we just incorporate the word clown.
Okay.
So do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Watch my new movie, Don't Mess with the Clown. But if you see my podcast on D Shep in the morning on the episode monthly show, you may frown. But I want to see up a woman's gown.
Oh my God.
Don't feel down.
Okay, so me, check out Derek's Don't Mess with the Clown. He's not clowning around, turning your frown upside down. This is touching motivation. Still we speaking, paper we chasing, people we making, podcasting, out of the sight, going to the world. It'll be all right. So you know what the sound is when you hear that clap, clap. That's probably Derek coming to a show near you, coming to a store near you. We just finished the interview. Now we hitting the snooze. It's time to go, but we already know it is the way that it is, and that's how it is on Poetry Corner. And that's it.
I like that.
Next. So, Derek, one more time for the people that tuned in, who didn't get to tune in at the beginning of the podcast, or might have skipped through part of the podcast, where can we find your material?
So material you can find just Facebook me, Derek S. Shapiro. You'll see a picture with Wycliffe John and me on there. You'll see a picture with me and River and Donnie Wahlberg on their Facebook. All my listings over there. I advertise my karaoke gigs, my radio show. I have tremendous websites, DerekShapiroShow.com, DSSTVStation.com, and I do the movies on movieinternetchannel.yolosite.com. You can find all my listings. I advertise weekly, daily on there, and I advertise when Evans is on my thing. I advertise when Dylan's on my thing. I'll be advertising this podcast. Whatever I touch, I make sure I'm on. I mean, I advertise because I want the views for you to go up and me to go up, and and look, you can't brag when you're on my next date that like I'm on another podcast and the views did not go up, right? You want to brag, you want to have bragging rights,
Right, exactly.
So now I have bragging rights on my next date. I was on the Yvens A Darilus show. You want to have sex now?
Oh God. So I see why you do the podcast too. Sometimes it's like for me, it's been very therapeutic. It's been it's like at least we could reach somebody. If we could touch one person, if I could touch one person, this is what I usually say, and I think I might start using this as my exit outro. Actually, if I could touch one person's life, I feel like I've accomplished something.
Yes. If people get out of the realm for 1 minute and they're laughing about me, or they're laughing with me, or they or they're laughing with you, I think we're doing our job good, because with all this crazy BS that's happening in the world right now, with these wars,
Exactly.
with these things, you know, my movies are free. One time somebody says, "Oh, they can't get back their 30 minutes," but hello, my movies are free for you. Free for you. You're not paying a dime.
Right.
Okay, whatever's going on in your life, whatever's going on in the world, I'm doing my movie. I put my hard work into it. Yeah, they're not going to be professional like Disney or Fox or
Exactly.
you know, our podcast is not going to be like we do a lot of other things. Not going to be as professional as people on big time like Ryan Seacrest or Steve Harvey or Kelly Clarkson's show. You know,
Right.
this is organic. This is homemade. You're gonna want of course we can get as many views as them too, but we're doing our own editing. We don't have a big production team.
Right.
So either support the big people who are sold to the devil,
Right.
but stop complaining for the people who are on this level.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But we can act like we're on that level, but we don't have people that work for us.
Exactly.
We work for ourselves.
Exactly.
We're doing the production ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So let us do what we're doing. If you can always change the channel at the end of the day,
Right.
but really don't put anybody's work down.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're doing our hard work for entertainment, and people said it many times. There's other podcasts out there. We're on the same platform as these other podcasts, these big names. We're on the same platform as them.
Mm-hmm.
If you really hate us that much, go listen to them.
Exactly.
If you want to come back to us, we're here.
Because all we doing is just trying to bring attention and share our views on topics or what we see in the world, or what is sparked in our mind. So that's all we try to do. We just try to bring you entertainment. We try to touch somebody. Maybe this podcast is not for you. Maybe maybe Derek's podcast is not for you. Maybe Dylan's podcast is not for you. The whatever kid podcast. Maybe the Butch podcast is not for you. Maybe it is for you. Maybe the Derek Shapiro podcast is for you, or Derek Shapiro show, or Derek the Power Half Hour, or unless you change the name of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, yeah. I have too many shows out there.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. I mean, look, one of my shows might not be for you, but then again, now this is like a spinoff. Now your own show is like a spinoff now,
right?
Of what we did, and I'm proud of you. What you're doing with your own craft, and people can say, "Wow, this is way better than Derek's." I said, "Okay, well, that's fine." Evans is doing his job, and you found a really good liking into Evans.
Right.
Keep it.
Exactly.
Do it. Flourish.
Because like before we really close out, I'm just gonna say, like, Derek has his the way he does his thing. I have the way I do mine. So you have 50 different people, like my mom would tell me. You have 50 different results. 50 different people, you have 50 different stories. 50 different people, you have 50 different outcomes, or infinite outcomes, she would say. So pretty much, like, it's whatever. Like, it's like we could take a piece of each of our stuff and bring it. When it comes to a heavy topic, Derek really doesn't joke. He gives his opinion, he gives his feedback, and then he goes back to the jokes. Sometimes I just try to go and speak for whatever comes from my heart. Whatever he sees, he speaks from his heart. We just have pretty much, if we have an outline, we may go off topic. But hey, it's communication. It's the way that we talk. It's how people effectively go. So you can jump from one subject to another. It is what it is.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean. Oh yeah. We get off subject a lot.
Yeah. Exactly.
But that's the way it is. Sometimes the best conversations happens when we're talking about this thing and we get off subject, and sometimes the best conversations happen when we're off the air too.
Exactly.
You know, it's like the on-air personality, off-air personality. I mean, a lot of people say my personality doesn't change, but somewhat it does. I mean, you can tell. I mean, you know, I'm a little bit mellow off the air. I mean, I do tell more cringy jokes when we're off the air, but the same token, I do have my on-air personality, off-air personality.
Right.
You know? I mean, I'm dealing with more family stuff off the air.
Right.
You know the dynamics by now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, it's just this is a great medium, the radio and broadcasting, and just it's a great medium just to gets us out of our realm too. This is my passion. I love radio since I was a kid, and I love your microphone. I mean, your microphone. You have headphones.
Yep.
And you're doing your own style, like me.
Yeah.
I've loved radio since I was day one, and I can have a microphone just to show, you know.
Exactly.
But you know what? I know that. Do I have to get the extra bells and whistles for myself? Not right now.
Not necessarily. No.
Do I want it? Yeah. I mean, I want a BMW.
Yeah, exactly.
But to cost effective, do I really want to spend the money on a microphone right now? No. Do I want to have it for show? Yes. But you know, Vinny has a microphone. Dylan doesn't have a microphone. You know, well, I'm proud that what you got for your podcast, you have the microphone, you have the headphones, you're doing what you're doing. I'm proud.
Thanks. So, with that being said, we're gonna close out the podcast. This is Yvens A Darilus with Derek Shapiro.
That's right.
Please be sure to catch us up on all streaming platforms that are available. Derek, you can catch him on many platforms, as he has stated: iHeart, Spotify, Audacity, Amazon, and other ones that I have not mentioned. I will be sure to get that information from Derek and put it in the link on my YouTube channel. That way you guys can check it out. And then I'll also put it on to, I will try to put it on to the Spotify one as well. So we are going to leave you guys. This is your boy Yvens A Darilus. Salute.
Salute.